Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to Queen Ahmadiyyah TV, More Than Meets the Third Eye. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah, and this is your spiritual vitamins. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified. It's time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right. Hello, Alice, Juju, Miss Cookie, Claudette, Jane is here. All right, let's get ready to get into it. Juju said the queen is queening. Okay, so everyone please get the likes up. You all know how it is in the YouTube streets. Okay, and so today we're going to be talking about, and also don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr._Ashakur, TikTok at Dr. Ashakur, and Twitter at DGoddess27. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about, some habits or behaviors, 10 specifically, that people who are really awesome, the best people for you to be around, are what they exhibit, and pretty much without even realizing it. Okay, it's not like they try to do these things, they just naturally do them. All right, so let's get ready to get into it. Hey, Miss Cookie. All right, don't forget to get those likes up, beloveds. Okay, let's get into it. Now, there is a big difference between people who are simply likable and then those who are really awesome just to be around. The people that you love to be in their presence. There's almost like there's a light emanating from them, right? And it's all about subtle behaviors that people exhibit, often without even realizing it. These behaviors make you feel comfortable, valued, and excited to spend time with these people. If you know anybody like that, please make sure you appreciate them. Okay, while you have the chance. Being awesome isn't about making grand gestures, or just overdoing things. It's the small, consistent actions that make a huge impact on people sometimes. So let's talk about some of the behaviors that these people exhibit. And like I said, often without even realizing it. The first one is they are active listeners. Okay? People naturally gravitate towards them because they genuinely listen to them. They're concerned and they care. And they're very thoughtful. Now, there's a difference between listening and hearing. Sometimes you can talk to a person, they hear what you say, but they're not really absorbing, comprehending what you're saying. They're not even really paying a lot of attention. And so there's a difference, because when you listen, you're actively paying attention to what the person is saying. It's soaking in, and then you're If it's a problem that they're having an issue, then you're thinking of what type of advice you can give them or how you can make them feel better about the situation. Okay, so when we say listen, we don't mean, just a simple act of hearing the words. It's talking about actively listening. And this involves not just understanding, but the emotions and the intentions behind them. Now, another thing is, and here's the thing, when you are actively listening to a person, when you're really paying attention and show concern for what they're speaking on, well, that helps them to build a level of trust with you. Okay? That makes them more likely to trust you, to feel trustworthy, valued, and respected. And then the next thing is people that are great for you to be around, they spread positivity. Okay, these people encourage you rather than discourage you. They're optimistic rather than pessimistic, and they're always looking on the upside of things rather than the downside of things. They see the glass as half full rather than half empty. Please pay attention. Okay, because have you ever wondered why some people naturally draw others to them? The answer is because it's usually their positivity, their high vibrations. Okay. And there's some people in life, there are some people who will not like you for no reason. And you may wonder, like, let me give you an example. There was a person who I felt like was hating on me years ago. And I was talking to this older woman. I said, but why? But why would they be hating on me? You know what I'm saying? I'm not rich. They actually have more than I do. And so why would they be hating on me? And the woman told me, she said, sometimes people hate on you not because of the material things that you have, but sometimes simply because of the person who you are. She said, you may be someone that people love to be around. You may be someone who, has a positive impact on people, or people learn things from you or whatever. And these type of characteristics and traits are things that people are born with. Okay. This is not something you can go and purchase. And so sometimes people don't like you just for who you are, the person that you are, nothing to do with what you have. Jane says, we are really just grateful to have a glass at all. Okay, I know that's right, beloved. I know that is right. So people who are really awesome to be around often have a radiant, they radiate positivity. It's infectious. And let's not forget, energy is contagious. So you want to be around someone who's upbeat, happy, someone who is easygoing and always positive, because this can rub off on you. And if you're feeling down, if you're having a bad day, these people can tend to make you feel better. Whereas someone who's miserable or someone who's just, espousing negative energy can actually make you feel a whole lot worse. Okay. Now, these people have the unique ability to find the silver lining in every cloud and always manage to see the glass half full. Like I said, this isn't about being unrealistically optimistic or ignoring the harsh realities of life. It's about choosing to focus on the good aspects. And even when faced with challenges and obstacles in the way, they're always thinking about the positive side of things. Like sometimes bad things happen. This is just how life goes. Every day is not going to be a good day. But when bad things happen, different situations that you get involved in, well, you can use that as a learning experience. Okay, if you learn from mistakes, then you don't have to repeat them. You can actually even learn from other people's mistakes. Okay, and this positivity isn't forced. It's not something that they're just trying to fake. It's actually genuine. And you can usually tell this. And matter of fact, the fact that it's genuine is what makes it so attractive, so inviting, and so inspirational to others. Positive people, they tend to make us happy when we're in their presence. And it can rub off on you, like I said, because energy is contagious. Another thing about these types of people that you should be around, people who practice empathy. Okay, some people don't have the ability to have compassion for others. They don't understand because they don't share the same feelings. They may not have been through something that you've been through, so they just don't, really empathize with you. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. And it's a key behavior exhibited by people who generally want to make others feel good around them. Okay? And like I said, some people have no empathy, none whatsoever. and they can't relate simply because they've never gone through certain things. And here's the thing. Some people don't have empathy, not just because they hey Shalvitz, Nessie X. Some people don't have empathy, not just because they may not have gone through what you are going through or what you're trying to relate to them, but because some people just feel like they're holier than thou and they're better than other people. And they feel like if you have problems, then that's just your problem for you to deal with. And sometimes when you complain about problems, well, they'll feel like you're just using that as a scapegoat, just something to make excuses for yourself. That's how sometimes people feel, and they don't show empathy and sympathy. And I'm sure some of us see that every day. When someone empathizes with you, they essentially are stepping into your shoes, okay? Seeing the world from your perspective. Because remember, you know, reality is viewed differently from all of us, okay? Perception is reality. And that's why some people can't understand what you're going through because they can't see that reality. But some people are able to think outside the box and to step away from themselves and then place themselves in your shoes to understand how you just might be feeling, which helps them to better comprehend. And then that allows them to be empathetic, okay? And some people are empaths like myself. So I'm always able to give empathy and sympathy to others and you know, and things like that, and be forgiving because I'm an empath, but that can be good and bad because sometimes people dump all of their problems and BS on you and it can leave you feeling drained. Okay. That's why I try to stay away from the psyche vampires, but it's beautiful. And it's a powerful human connection that can be made when someone is empathetic to you and understanding when you're going through something because you feel less alone in your struggles. And also, neuroscientists have discovered that mirror neurons, okay, there are mirror neurons in our brains. Now, these neurons reflect the actions and the emotions of others as if we're experiencing them ourselves. This is believed to be the biological basis of empathy. Now, isn't that something? That's really interesting. So just think about that for a minute. And so with that being said, if we know now that we have these mirror neurons, which can help us to feel the emotions of what someone else is going through, well, that should tell you that that's all the more reason not to be around negative Nancy's. Okay, people who espouse negative energy on a regular basis. Every now and then we all can do it, but some people do it a whole lot more than others. Those are the people that you should not be around on a consistent basis if you can help it. And so people who are naturally empathetic utilize this neurological connection to form deeper bonds with those around them. They don't just sympathize, they empathize, making you feel seen, understood, supported, and heard. And the fourth thing is they're authentic. Okay, authenticity is like a breath of fresh air. Okay, especially in a world where so many people are just putting on facades, especially online. You know, people can be anyone they want to online. They can say whatever, and no one's the wiser if you don't really see them standing right before you. And a lot of people fake things. And they pretend to be one way when they're really another. And so with that all being said, it's always refreshing to have someone who's authentic. People who are truly delightful to be around, they often have this quality in abundance. And that's because they're genuinely real and unapologetically themselves. They don't pretend to be someone they're not, and this authenticity attracts others to them. It's a quality that helps them build trust and fosters a sense of comfort and ease in their presence. Also, an authentic person isn't afraid to show vulnerability, to express their thoughts and their feelings honestly, or admits when they're wrong. Okay, please pay attention because the narcissist, they're never going to admit when they're wrong. Everything that they do that's bad, that's unfavorable, it's always somebody else's fault. Well, you did this. And so now I'm doing this. It's always tit for tat. But people who are authentic can absolutely take accountability, ownership of their wrongs, apologize when they have done something to offend or hurt you. And they also are very good at showing vulnerability. Okay? They don't have to hide their emotions, basically. Their authenticity creates a safe space for others to be themselves as well. Okay? Which is why it's so refreshing to be around them in the first place. Oh, G. Patrice said, Queen, you're so right. I'm an empath as well. We have to be very careful with the energy we allow in our lives. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay? You have to be careful who and what you give your energy to. And remember, here's the thing. We're all a work in progress. None of us are perfect. Like I said, we all can be negative in some cases. We all have things about us that we can work on, but there's always room for improvements. Okay? There's always room for improvement. We're not the best that we can be, but we're working. Now, the next thing is they show gratitude. That's the fifth thing about these people. They tend to show gratitude. And this is a powerful behavior that people who are genuinely delightful to be around often exhibit. And remember, I told you gratitude is a mindset. Okay, you should have an attitude of gratitude. See, these individuals who are consistently expressing appreciation for people and things in their lives, these people are very good to be around. They don't take things for granted, and they always take the time to say thank you, even for the smallest of gestures. Some people don't say thank you. Some people never show gratitude. In fact, they'll give you an attitude, even when you do things for them. Let's talk about it, because I've seen several of those court TV shows, right? For example, where people have loaned money to a friend, or maybe co-signed for them to get a car or to get something. And then when the person didn't hold up their end of the bargain, such as they didn't pay the money back, or they didn't keep up the person's credit because they failed to make the payments, and this person co-signed, now their credit's looking bad. These people always come to court with an attitude. Like they're literally mad that the person brought them to court for money that they in fact owed. Okay, these people are ungrateful. They have no gratitude. How are you upset because you owe someone and they were kind enough to give it to you to help you out, but now you're mad at them because you reneged on the deal? That's how some people are, and that's very selfish, and you should try to stay away from those people. And as far as it goes with co-signing for people, I always look at it like this. If someone didn't take care of their own credit and therefore they need a co-signer, well, I'm not going to trust you with my credit, because if you didn't keep your own credit up to par, why would I trust you with mine? Okay? Please make it all make sense. Stacey said, I would not co-sign for anything. They would just have to be mad. Okay, exactly. Exactly. I absolutely agree with that, beloved. But showing gratitude not only makes others feel valued and appreciated, it also reflects a positive perspective on life. This positivity is infectious, making those around them feel more positive and appreciated as well. And so, it's always good to show your appreciation for people. The next thing is they're inclusive. Okay? They're inclusive. Now, whether it's a group conversation, when they will make sure that everyone's voice is heard, or a social gathering where they introduce strangers to each other, and they create an atmosphere of inclusivity, so that everyone feels welcome. No one feels like they're just a wallflower or a third wheel, or they're just hanging around and they're not being heard, or no one's paying them any attention. Okay, this behavior, often done without a conscious thought, makes people feel valued and welcome. It sends a clear message that you're welcome here, you matter, and you belong. Have you ever been somewhere where you quite frankly felt unwelcomed? Like people looking at you like, okay, why are you here? Have you ever felt that way, or been around people that you really don't know, but someone that you knew that you're close to invited you, and then the rest of the people are just kind of standoffish, like looking at you all shady with a whole side eye? That's happened to me before. Okay, that's happened to me before. And if they're looking at me with a side eye, trust me, I'm looking right back at them with another. All right. So, in a world where so many are striving for connections, such inclusivity can be incredibly heartwarming and comforting. And that's precisely what makes these individuals so wonderful to be around. And the seventh thing is they are non-judgmental. There's a certain freedom in being around someone who accepts you as you are, flaws and all, because no one's perfect, even though some people think that we are and that we're supposed to be. No one is. Okay? People who are truly amazing to be around are often non-judgmental. Okay? Now, there's a scenario Uh, there was a scenario someone was telling me about one day where they said they were struggling with a personal issue and they were afraid to share it with anyone because they didn't want to feel judged. But then when they talked to a friend of theirs, a coworker, well, they said the person didn't jump to conclusions, or offer unsolicited advice. Instead, he just listened, asked thoughtful questions, and offered support. Now, that's a good thing to do. That is a very good thing to do, rather than just being judgmental. Okay? I remember I told someone something one day and they was like, oh, that's effed up. And they were like, that's effed up, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Okay, my mistake. But at the end of the day, sometimes rather than just pointing out that the person did something bad or wrong, which they likely know, you can try to tell them how they could have dealt with it better or how they could deal with it better the next time, should the same situation arise. Miss Cookie said yes, and it was my first and last time in the liquor house. Miss Cookie, what are you talking about, a liquor house? Alice says church people. Oh, yeah, some church people definitely are very judgmental. And for no good reason, as far as I'm concerned. For no good reason. Because a lot of people that go to church be doing the most, okay? Just because you go to church doesn't mean you're not out here doing a whole lot of nefarious activities, because some of these things are done absolutely in the church. Please pay attention. And so anyway, being non-judgmental is a potent behavior that allows people to open up and share their feelings freely, fostering deeper connections and making these individuals a joy to be around. Nobody wants to be sitting there telling you their business or telling you their problems or telling you their deep inner secrets if you're going to be passing judgment on them at the same time. Okay, as if you're perfect yourself. The eighth thing is they respect boundaries. Respecting boundaries is a crucial behavior that people who are genuinely enjoyable to be around often exhibit. They understand that everyone has their own comfort zones and personal space, both physically and emotionally. They don't impose their opinions or desires on others, nor do they insist on delving into personal matters unless invited. Yeah, that's what nosy people do. They always want to be up in somebody's business. Now, whether it's respecting your time by not keeping you on the phone for hours or understanding when you need some time alone, this behavior communicates respect and consideration for the feelings and needs of others. Respecting boundaries is all about acknowledging and honoring each other's individuality. It fosters trust, mutual respect, and healthy relationships, making the individuals truly wonderful to be around. Me, myself, I like being by myself a lot too. I like being by myself sometimes, just to my own thoughts. Jay says non-judgment is a very hard practice, especially now in the social media age. Yeah, it is for some people. It is. It is. I don't really have a problem with that per se, because I know that everybody has flaws. I know that I'm not perfect. I have flaws. And I know I don't want anyone judging me, so I try not to judge others. Okay? Jay said boundaries. People talk over you, don't respect boundaries, although not necessarily malicious. It could be a poor habit. Let me say something, Jane. I'm glad you brought that up, because yes, I have had that problem. Okay? I have had that problem. Not being malicious, but having a poor habit of sometimes talking over people and sometimes going so hard in the paint to prove my point that I've come off as rude. I've definitely done that. Okay, I'm guilty of it. But that's something that I'm working on. Okay? Because here's the thing. There are sometimes things about ourselves that we don't tend to realize. And sometimes other people point it out. So when someone points it out, you have to take a look at yourself and do some self-reflecting and say, wait a minute, do I do that? And then when someone brings it to your attention, then you can realize that that's when you start to work on it. You have to realize it and own it first. You know what I'm saying? Don't fight it. If someone's telling you you're doing something, and it's somebody that you're close to, somebody who cares about you, that's not just going to be saying something to make you feel bad, then you should at least think about it, say, okay, maybe I do that sometimes. And then just try to work on it to correct it. But you can't correct a behavior unless you know that you have it, right? And that goes back to what I said yesterday, that you have to let people know when they do something to offend you, when they cross a boundary, you have to let them know right then and there. Don't wait 4, 5, 6 months later, because they may not even remember what you're talking about. Because sometimes they don't even realize that they did it. So that's why I like to nip things in the bud right then and there. Okay, Miss Cookie said exactly, and not taking it personal. Right, exactly. Nancy X said, Queen, sometimes we don't even recognize that we do it, LOL. This is very true, beloved. This is exactly true. And then here's the thing. Some people won't say anything. They'll just sit there and they'll not say anything, and then you do it again, and then it can escalate. Here's the thing. I'm a firm believer that if someone does or says something to offend you or bother you that makes you feel some type of way, that you should absolutely address it right then, because what happens is if they don't address it, then they keep thinking about it, and then it starts to fester. And when stuff sits on your mind and it starts to fester, what does that do? Then it causes resentment to start forming. And then when resentment starts to form, and then now you hold a grudge. And the person may not even know this. So that's why if you do something to me that I don't like, I'm going to address it right then and there. I'm not going to do it to hurt your feelings unless you were trying to hurt mine. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to address it so we can have a conversation. I think that's the best thing to do. Jane said self-reflection and catching yourself can be hard, but to correct, it needs to be heard, spoken in love to improve the relationship. Exactly. I agree, beloved. I absolutely agree. Now, the ninth thing is they inspire others. The most incredible people to be around are those who inspire us. They have a way of bringing out the best in us, motivating us to strive for more, and believing in our potential, even when we sometimes doubt ourselves. Okay, these individuals lead by example. Their passion, determination, and positivity are contagious, making us want to be better versions of ourselves. They show us through their actions that challenges can be overcome, dreams can be achieved, and each one of us has the power to make a difference. So if you find someone that inspires you, you should hold on to that person, because people who inspire others are not just awesome to be around. They are a gift to our lives. And I have somebody like that really inspires me. Okay, they send me motivational things, inspirational things, every now and then, and they're always telling me good things. And this person is in a field that I've always wanted to be in. And so now they've inspired me to start back pursuing that. So absolutely, people who inspire me are the people I love to be around. You can learn from them, and they just make you feel so good about yourselves. And like I said, even when you doubt yourself sometimes. Okay, just another woman says, I'm the type that likes spending time by myself. I love learning and in my thoughts. Absolutely, I love doing that too. I love being by myself sometimes too, beloved. Okay, Jane said, also try to imitate the good behaviors yourself and try to stay groovy. All right. Okay, and so let's continue. And the last one is they are present. Above all, people who are truly wonderful to be around are present in the moment. Being present means fully engaging in what's happening right now, not dwelling on the past or fretting about the future. It's about savoring the here and now, truly living each moment. Now, when you're with someone who is in the present or who is present, you feel seen and heard. It's as if the world stops spinning for a while and it's just you and them. Being present isn't always easy in our fast-paced world that we live in today, so filled with distractions and things. But those who manage it often without even realizing that they're doing it create deep and meaningful connections that make them absolutely a joy and a delight to be around. And so sometimes we need to take a moment to slow down, take a breath, and immerse ourselves in the here and now. Because at the end of the day, you shouldn't dwell on the past because it's already happened. You have to move on forward from it. And you also should not spend your time worrying and stressing about the future, because the things that you may be worried and stressing about may not ever even occur. If you think about the future, you should think about it in a positive light. Okay? Like your goals that you've set for the future, how you can make them come to fruition, and things of that nature. See, the beauty of human behavior lies in the diversity and complexity. Each individual carries a unique blend of behaviors and traits that shape the way they interact with the world and the people around them. The people who we find truly awesome to be around often exhibit these behaviors not because they're trying to impress other people, but because it's simply who they are. They listen, they empathize, they appreciate, and they inspire, often without even knowing that they're doing it. These behaviors reflect the best of what it means to be human, our capacity for kindness, understanding, and making connections. They serve as a reminder that every interaction that we have is an opportunity to make someone's day just a little bit brighter, to make them feel seen, heard, and valued. And so, maybe this is something that you all can try in your daily lives. Try to make someone feel important, valued, heard, understood. Thank you, Orange Moon, for your contribution to the channel, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings to you. And also, thank you all for the cash apps. Okay? So, with that all being said, I have a couple of videos I want you all to see from some of my favorite TikTokers. Okay? So, let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. I think you'll appreciate these.
A sense of entitlement. After a powerful spiritual awakening, it's easy to feel like you're special or better than others. It's like discovering a hidden treasure inside you, and you can't help but think, wow, I've got something others don't. You might start thinking you're here to lead or guide people, maybe even save them. You believe you're helping by pushing them towards their own awakening, their own moment of clarity. But here's the thing. You can't rush someone else's journey, no matter how much you care for them. What can you do instead? Should you keep all this wonderful wisdom locked up inside you? Not necessarily, but instead of throwing it at people, try to understand where they're coming from. Think of your interactions like making a nice meal. Compassion should be your main ingredient, just a pinch of wisdom will do. If someone is ready and open, they'll ask for more. Compassion and love have a way of opening doors. When you approach people with genuine care and understanding, they're more likely to listen. You're not forcing wisdom down their throats. You're offering them a safe space. And sometimes that's all people really need to start figuring things out for themselves. Until then, focus on being a source of love and compassion. Let your actions speak. Let your presence be felt. But don't force your wisdom onto others. Because at the end of the day, it's not your wisdom that people will remember. It's how you made them feel. That's the real gift you can give to the world. But let's not forget the good things about a spiritual awakening. You become your own source of peace, and it's a peace that doesn't rely on external conditions. It's a peace born from understanding, from having faced confusion and doubt, and having emerged on the other side stronger and wiser. You're no longer looking for others to complete you or validate you. You're complete, and your validation comes from a much more reliable source, yourself. Let's talk about happiness. The pursuit of happiness is often what starts us on our spiritual journey, but what we find is so much richer than the happiness we initially sought. We find joy. Happiness is often fleeting and dependent on circumstances, while joy is a deep, abiding state that persists regardless of what's happening around you. Joy comes from a deep connection with your true self, a connection that a spiritual awakening nurtures. Your newfound sense of self might even drive you to change your career or life direction entirely. Suddenly, the money, the prestige, or the security that seemed so crucial before faded in importance. Your desire to make a difference and live a life that is about more than just your comfort and success now drives you. And let's not overlook the most beautiful aspect, your ability to connect with others. In seeing the divine in yourself, you begin to see it in everyone else too. Empathy and compassion don't just become words or ideals. They become your natural states of being. You understand that everyone is fighting their own battles, often battles you know nothing about. Instead of judgment, you offer understanding. Instead of indifference, you offer love. As you grow, you lift others up with you, sometimes in ways you're not even aware of. Your energy, your wisdom, and your love become gifts, not just to yourself, but to the world around you. You become a source of light in a world that so desperately needs it. So yes, spiritual awakening is a complex, multi-layered journey filled with both thorns and roses. But remember, it's the thorns that protect the rose, giving it the space and safety it needs to bloom. If you're still here, I would like to say thank you for tuning in until the end. I hope I have not wasted your time. If you love what I'm doing, please share it with your friends and family who might need this message.
All right, I absolutely love it. And his voice was almost hypnotizing, okay? It was almost hypnotizing. Prince of Paraphernalia said, "Oh yeah, Queen, that running water put me right to sleep and I felt good this morning." Okay. That's good, beloved. Jane said that was a good video and message. Kathy B said very relaxing. Yes, I loved it. Now, here's another one that I really like too, because she was touching on something that I've spoken about before. Okay, so let's get into it.
This is how you know you have a healthy friendship. So as we're doing our like weekly, monthly check-in, you know, we all have our own lives. I met this girl when I was like 13, 14. And we're doing the usual, how are you doing? I told her I'm good. And then when it was time for me to ask her, she replied, and this is the game changer, y'all. She says, "Do you have room for me right now? Because I'm going through a lot, but I want to ask, do you have room for what I'm going through? Like for me to even vent and put that on you." What? And this is... Y'all just don't understand how deep that is, because many times people will throw their, I don't want to say baggage on you, but sometimes it will seem like that, especially if you're an empath and people just dump things on you and you internalize it and you carry what they're going through throughout your day. And they don't even ask. They don't even ask like if it's okay for them to dump this on you, because some things that people are going through is a little too much, right? And sometimes they don't even want solutions. They just want to vent. But by my friend asking me, do I have room? That's a game changer. That's somebody that has gone through therapy and has willingly done the work on herself and is going through a season of transformation. And I took on that, what she gave me, and I'm going to use it. Although I'm not the type of person that vent to other people, I just felt that like at that moment, that was so healthy to say that you care about other people's feelings enough to put what you're going through to the side and know that sometimes it could come off like you don't want to be too much on somebody. You don't want to put your burdens, and I don't want to make people think that they are burdens. You're not. But sometimes people are going through their own issues, and sometimes people internalize what you're going through. They can be having a good day, and when you dump that on them, it just changes their good day to a bad day. That's the thing. So learning like healthy communication, I just thought I'd put that out there. Like y'all could use that too in y'all relationships, friendships, whatever.
All right, I absolutely love that. I love that. Now, I'm putting the link in the chats for the meditation channel, the universal language. But listen, I really love that because I have talked to you all about that before, about people dumping their problems on you. You all may remember that I got on live one day and I was telling you all about someone who called me right before I was going to do my spiritual vitamins. And they called me just venting, just telling me all of this stuff, all so negative. And I didn't want to hear it. I absolutely didn't want to hear it. And I told them I didn't want to hear it. After they talked for about 5 minutes, I was like, I don't want to hear this. Okay, I'm about to do a spiritual life and I need to be upbeat and positive. And you're really bringing me down. And with that all being said, another thing is the people that I tell you about that are psyche vampires. That's what they love to do. They're never going to ask you, do you have time to listen to my problems? Can I vent to you real quick? They're not going to ever do it because they have no problem absorbing your energy and dumping all of their BS on you. And sometimes it is a lot, and especially if you're an empath. Okay, and energy is contagious, like I said. So when people are putting all this negative stuff on you, it's lowering your vibration. And so it would be a whole lot better if they would ask. I would appreciate that. Hey, do you have time to listen to my problems? Can you help me with this? That's a whole lot better than you calling me or I'm calling you and you just dump all this stuff on me. You know what I'm saying? So December says, definitely a game changer. I called my friend and told her I didn't call to gripe or complain, and I didn't call to boast or brag. I just called to hear your voice and ask how you are. Well, isn't that sweet? That is so lovely. Okay? Kathy B said, well, I feel sad. When I feel sad, it's usually someone else's energy I'm tuned in with. Mm-hmm. Jane says, everyone have their own crosses to bear, and each cross is heavy and important to that person. Absolutely. Hey, Khalid. Absolutely. So with that all being said, I'm going to go ahead and conclude this broadcast. I know some of you came in late. Just please go back and watch the replay. And so this Friday, I think I'm going to have a trivia this Friday. Yeah, I'm going to have trivia this Friday. And also, I believe it'll be Saturday when the new ebooks come out. Okay, the new ebooks, I'm not going to be giving them away this time. They're going to be for sale, but I'm going to have something different that I'm doing for the trivia. Okay, so please pay attention. Silas said, I did that before after someone I trusted did me wrong. No lie, I learned. Yeah, sometimes you have to learn from mistakes, beloved. Sometimes it's from your own mistakes. Sometimes it's from others. Okay, but here's the thing. Like I said, when bad things happen, as they sometimes do, and when things, there may be problematic situations that you find yourself in, just try to always use it as a teachable moment. You can always find the lesson in anything if you just look. Okay, if you just look. So with that all been said, and real friends do not want to just dump all of their baggage on other people. So it is polite to ask. Okay, it is polite to ask or to just make sure that you're not just pouring all of this stuff onto them and bringing them down. Okay? Jay said, this was a nice session. I learned that I'm in the right lane and will keep going in that direction. I'm still learning. Absolutely. We're all still learning, beloved. Absolutely. Okay? Juju said, love you to life. And I love you too, beloved. Okay? So everyone, enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. All right. And so I hope to see you all tomorrow morning for your daily or for your morning wake up call. Until next time, talk to you all again soon. Peace.